Hello, and welcome to The Fool and the Philosopher.
The Philosopher and the Fool. So I came up with a new chemtrail conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Alright, so you've looked at pictures of like the 1940s, 1920s, or like the videos of like the high school workout, and they're like all buff and ripped and no one was overweight, and like being considered overweight was like what's average today.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, turns out, basically, it's actually really, really hard to get overweight.
Yeah. No, I think it is.
It's incredibly hard to get overweight.
I agree.
But these planes, they come in and they drop their chemtrails.
Yeah.
And it basically makes it so that when you eat food, you just put on fat. And so it's not that our food's bad or have gone worse. It's the chemtrails are making us all fat.
Well, I think you're diluting the...
Both conspiracies?
Well, I mean, it's great because then you can cover for both of them. But
yeah.
It's not a conspiracy. That like they crop dusted radioactive dust all over the states. Like that's just a thing you can learn about. Like it's not a conspiracy. At least it's not anymore.
Yeah.
It's not, how to put this. It was a conspiracy of silence. However, the silence was lifted. So now it's a conspiracy of just conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people use the word conspiracy wrong, and they say mean like a fake, crazy, or outlandish idea. That is not how I ever use conspiracy. Like, I never use it that way. I actually use it as like something people are doing
To cover something up.
as a conspiracy of silence.
Yeah.
Or if I don't say conspiracy of silence, sometimes I do mean like conspiracy as in people are working together, but maybe they're not doing it secretly, right? But
It's used in Lord of the Rings conspiracy. The four hobbits have a conspiracy against Frodo. Which is to basically figure out that he's leaving and planning to move and run away, and they're not going to let him do it by himself.
right.
And so it's like, and our chief investigator in our conspiracy was Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so conspiracy doesn't mean outlandish theory.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually... Now, conspiracy theory is still a real thing. That's a theory that there is a conspiracy. And I believe that I have a conspiracy theory. That conspiracy theory being called an outlandish thing was a conspiracy, right? Like, I think that was a plan to delegitimize the crazy, insane stuff, especially in the 50s, but that the United States government, in particular here anyways, has been doing, which is just ridiculous, some of the things they've done. But then people's health, our population numbers have exploded, and we have made food way cheaper, but it's not really food anymore. It's like garbage. And I think that it might be, I don't think this is true, but it might be that we can't have both. We can't afford to not use garbage to feed people, which causes the massive amounts of, like, you want to get rid of starvation, people have to be fat.
Yeah. So when I was in Europe, I noticed this because I was eating a bunch of food that I usually don't eat because here it hurts me, but it's like traveling, I'll eat this stuff. And even things that weren't like the highest quality, they didn't leave me with the same sickly feeling of like things here do.
Less wax and, well, sulfites are a huge one.
Yeah, less sulfites, less Roundup, less...
just pesticides and whatnot.
Yeah, like... And people have talked about this, like this is apparently a common experience, which is if you eat pasta in America, after you're done, you feel bloated and tired and you want to take a nap and you feel like slightly ill afterwards. Whereas if you eat pasta in Italy, it's like, oh, that was just food.
Yeah.
I don't feel sick after that.
I've never had pasta in Italy. No, I don't think I have, no. Maybe I had a tiny bit of lasagna, but I'm not sure. It's all a haze.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that when I had pasta here so much, but it's all relative to how you're feeling, I guess. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell unless you step outside for a bit, and then you realize, oh wow, that feels terrible. Yeah.
Well, like there is definitely an observation of things. That I have a friend. He definitely became more physically active, but like he was this chubby little guy in high school, and he's like studied abroad in Ireland, and he's lost a ton of weight, and he like ran a half marathon recently, but. Like, there's definitely lifestyle changes, but even then, like, most people, like, there's this whole thing of the freshman 15.
Yeah.
And he's saying, like, that's not really a thing in Ireland.
And I wonder if exercise is a conspiracy. Like, I think training for something you want to be able to do, that makes... I'm sure people have done that throughout all of human history, right? Yeah. But exercising for the sake of fitness itself, that's probably pretty new, eh? Like, that seems like a weird...
Yeah.
I'm not even saying it's bad.
I think the Greeks had it.
Yeah, maybe the Greeks did.
Like, so currently right now, my goal...
they had gyms, I guess, eh? Like,
yeah, my goal...
The Romans did too.
...is to be able to run for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty cool goal.
And I'm at 42 minutes in 3 segments.
That's pretty good.
And my goal is to run for an hour comfortably.
Yeah.
And I run for 41 minutes with breaks uncomfortably right now.
Yeah, but that's definitely on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not... I think that people that exercise, good for you, awesome, right? I'm just wondering, like... I think... Because there's a lot of fat people that talk about...
I saw a man who had a belly sling.
Yeah.
What?
Like a low belly goblin.
Yeah, no, actually, so he had this brace on his back, so it hooked around his hips, and like lower back, and went over the front of his gut, and it was holding it in place. And the guy was like wobbly about, and it was like supporting his gut so it didn't like hang down over his groin or something. I don't know what this purpose was, but he actually had a belly sling.
Modern problems require modern solutions. But yeah, I think a lot of fat people think that the key is exercise, right? Like, they're like, oh, I don't have time to exercise, though. It's like, you don't need to. It's like, well, I don't have time to cook. It's like, you can just eat better then. So, well, I can't afford that. It's like, well, you'll have to buy less, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
I saw this woman. She was, she could barely walk, but she was walking. She had a walker thing. Yeah. She was massively overweight, barely walk. And her car was wrecked. Like, it didn't have a window. She had put tape over the window, and like her car was like clear plastic instead of a windshield. And so she was clearly very poor, right?
Yeah.
So it's a tragic situation, right? Part of me, though, I was watching her, and I was like, I could solve all 3 of your problems with one solution. It was like, if you bought less groceries, you'd have more money. You'd be able to walk easier, and you wouldn't be as...
Well, also...
I'm sure, like, it's probably a lot of stress and stuff that's really the key problem there, right? But
oh, actually, this is a terrifying thing on that. So, Ozempic.
Yeah.
What does it do?
I've heard people reference it, but I'm not actually sure. It's like a new drug that's taking over in the weight loss industry, right?
Yes. So it's brilliant what it does.
Yeah.
So basically it goes into your brain.
Yeah.
And it targets this part of your brain that says eat.
Yeah.
And it says no.
Yeah.
It makes you satiated.
Yeah.
So 2 things on that. One is this has like completely screwed over the hard work that food companies have been doing for like several centuries. Decades. Yeah. Several decades now, which is they figured out the exact combination of like molecules to make corn syrup, basically make it so you want to eat
That's about
more.
a decade now. I mean, a century now.
Yeah. They basically figured out the right combinations so that when you eat food, it makes you more hungry. You don't become sated. So basically, Ozempic makes it so you're not hungry.
Right.
It makes it so you don't want to eat. That's all it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
It has a lot of side effects. We're not going to talk about those right now.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the side effect of the thing it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Which is, it makes it so you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
So, a large reason why some people get to becoming overweight is food and eating is a coping mechanism. There's people like, I'm an emotional eater.
Yeah.
It is your coping mechanism, is eating food. It is how you deal with stress. It is your addiction. It is your coping addiction.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm overweight, let's take Ozempic. Those people are going to kill themselves.
Why they just keep doing both? You mean, or because they won't have a coping mechanism?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or they'll do something else, or they'll become super stressed, or they'll make themselves sick.
Maybe they'll kill themselves.
I'm not saying like they will, but it's like that was an over exaggeration. But it's more the fact that they're not addressing the right issue.
Maybe like what if? So I was thinking, like I'm not a fan of pharmaceuticals to a probably overly strict degree.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the idea of aspirin and Tylenol.
Yeah.
So, I'm not a good baseline for this sort of things. But what if Ozempic isn't actually a thing that, like, turns off the I want to eat part of your brain?
It turns off the I'm stressed.
Yeah, what if it's actually an anti-stress medication?
I don't think it is.
And it's actually, like, for instance, SSRIs, the most common antidepressant, doesn't actually do what they thought it did. It's an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
And Viagra, which was a blood pressure medication,
Yeah.
turned out that once people's blood pressure issues were solved, they wouldn't give back their medication. And it's like, no, your problem's fixed. You're healthy now. And it's like, you don't have to do the surgery anymore. It's like, no, it's okay.
So, if you're in the Alps or really high mountains anywhere, and you're worried about a pulmonary aneurysm, I think is what can be caused by having not enough blood pressure.
Yeah.
You can take Viagra, and supposedly it's meant to help you with it.
Yeah.
It's mixed results of if it will or not. But so in Top Gear, basically the 3%ers were going through South America.
Yeah.
And they were trying to drive over a volcano.
Yeah.
And they were given like a bunch of supplies before they left on a trip of how to deal with things. And so they were like given Vaseline and condoms and Viagra part of their supplies. And they actually ended up using all of them in their cars. Like they repaired part of their cars with some condoms, and they had one guy had problems with his engine, and so he like used the Vaseline and basically so like everything could run because it's a lubricant. And then the other two made the jokes like, he seems far too adept at applying the Vaseline to his engine. But then when they got really high and they're suffering from altitude sickness, one was like, all right, we take this Viagra now, and it should help us get over the mountain. It didn't help them.
So when you show up to like a house to depressurize their house, do they just start popping out?
If they did, I might be concerned.
It's like, oh, the blower door's here.
Oh, the blower door's here. Yeah, so good. We can start the party.
I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, bye.
One of those people who need an excuse to do things.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't want. No, I'm not checking your house.
So you need to check all my appliances. Well, why don't you go look at my dryer? Oh no, I'm stuck in it.
You know what? You pass. I don't need to. I'm not going to look. You pass. You're good. Bye. You can have any rebate you want. I'm out of here. Congratulations. I mean, actually, if you think about it, there's not a huge amount of people that do your job. There's a lot of houses, right? Here, I'm trying to corrupt you right now. Okay. We
have so many checks and balances because there's so much corruption that has happened with this job that for the basic people who do it, it drives us insane, the amount of things we have to do.
Okay. Because I was thinking, you could just pass everyone. No one would complain.
Yeah. No, so there used to be people who would drive up to a house, take a picture of it, and then drive off and just file a report.
Yeah.
And so it's like 15
minutes.
Oh, and
now you have to. That's why you have to record so much garbage now. I see.
And it gets more and more. Like we have to, like, take pictures of walls if there's a garage on the other side, and if it's a row house, so there's multiple units, you have to take a picture of the house individually, so we don't capture any of the other units, and then we have to take a picture of the whole unit lot together.
Right.
And
can't you just do the old like take a picture of yourself in front of the house with a shoe on your head or something?
So one of the things that we have to do, which is one of our like really important big proof things, is we have to take a picture of the inside of the house with the door installed and show that we installed the door.
Yeah.
And then we have to take a picture of the gauge when it's depressurized at 50 exactly. That can be a pain to get because when it's windy, it like takes forever to get there. And one of the things they do is, if they really want to like investigate you, is they'll look at the metadata of your picture to make sure that the day it was taken lines up with when you did the report and you filed a number. So I prove that you can edit metadata really
that's easy.
easily.
You just resave the image. Yeah.
No, there's so many ways to edit the metadata, so I prove that. I've done it. I haven't submitted any files with this, but I just did it to prove that I could.
Yeah.
Which is, I took an online picture of a door that's open, and I took one of my blower doors installed, and I just warped it in the editor to stick it in there, because they do warp when they shift and move out, so I put it in there. I took a series of pictures of my gauge because it's a digital readout. of like in a still setting.
Yeah, that'd be really easy to fake. Yeah.
And so I can like show the gauge exactly at 15, put to what pressure I want it at.
They need like a full-time like Photoshop detector.
Well, no, one of the things they wanted to do, which if they do that, several people who do this job will quit in the Yukon, is they have a new kind of door which it takes your data that from the door and automatically uploads it and measures it and sends it off so you can't interact with it.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to make that standard, so you have to have one of those doors that does that. And two people here is like, we'll quit if you do that.
Why is that?
We're not always in a situation where we can be hooked up to the internet.
Right, yeah.
It's really windy here, and those wind problems make that data inaccurate, so it can take a really long time. Whereas if we use our intuition to go, okay, this is the average between these swinging numbers, we can do that here.
Right.
It'll still take us a long time, but we can actually get the job done. And also, it's just such a bigger imposition on us already that we've been dealing with imposition after imposition over all the years. That's just the last straw.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame actually in corruption. I mean, like I was joking about how easy it'd be to do, but it's a shame that people actually do take advantage of it.
And it's made
because it makes everyone else's life worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing with
like it's basically like, so one of the things I get once a month basically there's a guy who does quality control on us.
Yeah.
And when we first started doing that, I was a little worried about it. Because, like, everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah.
And he, like, sent me the list of mistakes. And the first time I, like, defended myself a whole bunch. I'm like, oh, this is why this happened. This is why this happened. And he, like, gave me the second report, even though it was meant to be once a month. He gave me the next report. And he went over all things like, yep, I recognize that mistake. I recognize that mistake. I recognize that mistake. And the thing with that is he's doing this quality control so we can keep working.
Yeah.
And it's like, he doesn't actually care too much about our mess ups.
Yeah.
It's basically, he'll go, all right, I've done the quality control, I've corrected these files, this is his job, he does that, he just like keeps us on track, so like if we start slipping and he knows the pattern, he can fix it, and makes it so we don't get an auditor coming along who goes, oh wow, you guys are really doing your jobs wrong, and this might be an auditor with a chip on his shoulder. It's like, I'm going to do a full audit of you, and those full audits can lead to a suspension of our license, several $1,000 fines, like $100,000 fines, and jail time.
Yeah.
And so him being there to sort of be like the teacher going, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there, you made a mistake there, is to protect us from being audited.
I'd like rather just have like no corruption, you know, rather than like what it's not an option obviously, but just it'd be nice if people
wouldn't it be nice
realize that everyone actually ends up richer and more relaxed and happier if they weren't trying to take advantage of everyone else. It's the prisoner's dilemma, right?
Yeah.
It's the tragedy of the commons. It's just.
I saw such a depressing video, which is it's this game show in the UK.
Yeah.
And basically it has a prisoner's dilemma in it, sort of, which is so there's two people.
Yeah.
And there's like $100,000. I don't know the exact amount, but we'll go with $100,000. And so you can choose to steal or you can choose to share.
Yeah.
If you both choose to steal, neither person gets the money.
Yeah.
If one person chooses to steal and the other one chooses to share, the stealer gets all the money.
Yeah.
If you both choose to share, you can split it evenly amongst you two.
Yeah.
So this guy's there with a woman, and she's like, "Oh, this will really help out my life. I'll be able to pay off my house." Like she's crying. It's like, and he's saying, "Don't worry, love. I won't steal. We'll share it together." And it's like, "Yeah, I'll share. I'll share." And so go through it, and then they reveal what they did. He said, "Share. She should steal," and her expression immediately changes to the smug, self-satisfied look.
Mm.
And this guy just looks kind of wrecked by that, and he was completely manipulated by her.
Jeez.
And that's the game show. That's like meant to be the exciting part about it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, she probably, if anyone recognizes her, will have a hard time in her life.
Yeah. Well, that's actually who was the guy? He was some general or something. He said, if I was in a room with my enemy and a traitor and I had a gun with 2 bullets, I'd shoot the traitor twice.
Yes.
He was like, yeah, because people don't like. I've been actually reading a book right now, that Righteous Mind book.
Yeah.
It's basically about the psychology of that and how people hate traitors.
Yes.
Like, they actually did a lot of interesting studies with games like that. Not that same stakes, right? But a lot of tests where
it might not be that much money, but that's the same thing.
One of the interesting ones they did with I think they did in the Netherlands, was they went, they had a bunch of Dutchmen, and they sprayed them in the face with a water bottle before the test.
Yeah.
But in some of the water bottles, they had oxytocin, like the hormone that makes you like happy, right?
Yeah.
And like love people. And the people that they sprayed with the oxytocin were more likely to like share, unless the person was a part of an outgroup. So if they were German instead of Dutch or something, then they were far less likely. So it appears that oxytocin, it bonds groups together, but part of bonding a group together is hating strangers.
It's having outgroup.
Is having an outgroup, yeah. So if someone was part
We
of...
are bonded together because we hate the German.
Yeah. We hate the Germans. We are the swamp Germans. And we are very different.
I was trying to do Polish there, or whatever you said.
Dutch.
Dutch, yeah, I was trying to do Dutch. Dutch, actually, they have two accents.
They sound like English speakers making a funny voice.
Yeah.
One, two, three, four, five.
Or you don't hear it at all.
Yeah.
Like, they just sound like an English speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, they sound like stupid English people.
Or clipped.
Yeah.
It's like clipped English.
Like at least South Africans, they're also kind of Dutch, right? But they at least sound a little refined. They're like, oh yeah, yeah. But they just sound like English people with a slur.
Yeah.
Yeah. But although I've talked to, I don't remember where, but I've said that to a Dutch person before, and they're like, no, Dutch is an older language than English. English people sound like stupid Dutch people. Like, no. Just because we came later doesn't mean that we didn't. We fixed all the stupid
English
stuff.
is an older language. Sorry, a younger language.
Yeah.
But Anglo is far older than your stupid language.
Well, I don't know if that's true, but
Anglo is ancient.
yeah, but Dutch might be too.
Yeah.
I mean, Dutch is just a German, right? It's like basically the same thing as German. And the Germanic tribes go back a while.
If you're talking about Belgians, those are the swamp Germans.
Yeah. No, those are the French Germans.
No, Belgians are swamp Germans.
No, the Dutch are swamp Germans.
No, the Dutch are marsh Germans.
No, the Belgians are waffle Germans. Or they're French Germans.
Yeah.
Belgians are basically just French people that are also Germans.
French people with extra steps.
Yeah. Actually, that, well,
It's a test. It's a test of OxyContin people.
I was talking to a Romanian person recently, and he was telling me how the Romanian language, it was much more difficult to be confused in Romanian. Like
I don't know. They have like 20 different words for reappropriate someone else's property.
the meaning of words was less you had less room for like homonyms, right?
Yeah.
So it's a much more honest language, and the Romanians were much more honest people than English speakers. And I was like,
do you know about the?
And so then I asked him, like, what about the gypsies? and they don't like gypsies in Romania. Just,
What about? Have you heard about that? If someone's speaking to you in Latin words, they're more likely to be lying to you.
I believe that. But actually,
Like Latin words are used to obfuscate. Like, okay, here's one. You're a liar.
yeah.
You've spoken misinformation.
Ah.
You've lied or misinformation.
I see what you mean. Okay, so Latin roots. Yeah.
Yeah, so like Latin roots words.
But his argument, right, about Romania was all the Slavic nations were conquered by the Romans, right?
Yeah.
However, only one Slavic nation embraced the Romans, and that was Romania, because they recognized the value of order, and all the other Slavic nations didn't. And then he said, and Moldova is the greatest province in Romania.
Is that where he's from?
Yeah, because it's the northern province. So they have 4 provinces. They have Moldova, then is Transylvania, of course, and then there's Wallachia, which is the one that the Turks conquered.
Yeah.
And then historically there's a 4th one, but it's gone now, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that one was. And Transylvania was where the Turks stopped for some reason. They just didn't feel like continuing.
Yeah, they didn't feel like going any further.
They just got bored.
There's a guy who they were dissuaded.
Yeah, they just got bored. They went home. So, but Moldova was conquered by the Habsburgs at one point. This sort of Hungarian. Well, I mean, Transylvania was part of Hungary too, right?
Yeah.
But the Habsburgs brought in a lot of Germans, so there was a very strong German influence in the Austro-Hungarian Empire or something. So Moldova. They took in the efficiency and the honesty of the Germans. And so they have like the orderliness of the Romans with the efficiency and the hard work ethic of the Germans.
And he was trying to convince you he was honest.
Well, he was saying that like the Romanians like hardworking, honest, like, and I said, and like the Roma, is that like the name of the Romanians? Like no, the Roma, Totally different group of people. That's from India. India, they still have a caste system. And so these are like the lower thief class of people. And what happened was they were all over Europe. But with the communists, the population was declining in Romania. And so they paid the Romanians huge amounts of money in order to have, like they paid the Romanian women huge amounts of money to have children. They paid them like $3,000 a child or something.
Yeah.
And
that went well.
And so, well, it did have a lot more kids born. But
yeah, it also led to the only violent revolution
against communists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that might have just been because they're Romanian, but yeah, that was the theory, right? But what also happened was the Roma, the gypsies, were like, "Hey, wait, you're gonna pay us to have children?"
We do that for free.
Well, according to basically, well, no, that wasn't it actually. According to this guy, the Romanians started living off of this by just having so many kids. And so the gypsies became Romanian in that sense because all the gypsies came to Romania to have tons of kids. And so all the gypsies are now from Romania, basically. It was.
And so that's why the Romanians hate the Roma, partly?
Yeah, but now apparently what they do is they all go to France for the winter. They go to Paris. Because what happens is you steal stuff in Paris until you get caught. And then they deport you back to Romania. And they give you like $2,000 for being able to, I guess, like, you know, survive the transit and that sort of thing. He's like, because Romanian prisons in winter, you'll die. If you go to a France prison in winter, you have a place you can spend the winter, then they send you back to Romania with $2,000, and then you do it again next year.
Something's wrong with France. Like, if you look at the historical context, if their prison is considered nice compared to other prison.
No, something's wrong with Romania. Yeah.
No, France needs to go back to their roots.
No, France has horrible prisons. Like, in Catch Me If You Can, the prisons were awful.
Yeah, but the term oubliette comes from France.
No, but in Catch Me If You Can, the prison he was thrown into was a dirt hole.
Yeah.
And he's like 6'2" or something, right? And it was like a 5'10" dirt hole. He couldn't unfold in it.
Yeah.
And it just had a bucket in a corner for him to use as a toilet, basically.
But who knows, like that was 40 years ago or more.
Yeah.
They could have gone a lot more plush.
Like, what's in the Romanian prison if that's I guess maybe the France one's at least warm.
Yeah.
Right.
The Romanian prison is they just send you to a gulag, but you no longer can work.
No, the Romanian prison, just a row of spikes. Like, pick your favorite.
Pick your favorite and have a seat.
Yeah, have a seat. I was actually reading about Tepish, like Vlad Dracula Tepish.
Yeah.
And I guess Tepish means impaler lord in Romanian. And Vlad Dracul. Dracul was his father's name. So I guess what happened was it was like a nickname his father earned.
Yeah, the dragon.
The dragon, because he was so anti-Ottoman, basically. Yeah. And so they're like, you can enter the Order of the Dragon, which was like an anti-Ottoman organization. But then he betrayed the order and actually sided with the Ottomans eventually.
Yeah.
And he sent his 2 sons to go and live with...
as hostages.
Yeah. And Vlad and his brother, who was called something the Pretty, I believe, might have also been called Vlad. He had like 2 or 3 brothers called Vlad. But anyways, his brother actually took a shine to the Ottomans and really liked them. And Vlad the Impaler also learned a lot from the Ottomans and liked a lot about them, but he did not. In the end, he did not take kindly to them. And he...
well, do you know...
He like poisoned all the water in Transylvania, and he...
Do you know about...
burnt all the cities and...
how he felt about janissaries?
No.
So, basically, he and his brother were hostages, which is the nobility didn't become janissaries.
Yeah.
But if you're a lower class, like his people had to pay a certain amount of money. Well, not money. They paid a tax in children, which became janissaries. And janissaries are basically castrated soldiers who were Christian or a different religion who are forced to become shock troops for the Ottomans.
Yeah.
And they're completely mind-washed. Like, that's the whole part of it. Like, they're indoctrinated into the cult or religion, and they have their own subculture, which is really weird. They have their own kinds of food they would make.
Yeah.
So he had this weird sort of thing, which is at first he felt bad for them.
Yeah.
Because they had no choice in it and they're indoctrinated. But then it goes back to the traitors.
Yeah.
He started to despise them. It's like, you're not strong enough of character even as a child to recognize what your true home is. And you serve these enemies. And so he absolutely despised them. And so one of the ideas, this is just goes to show the Ottoman Empire, one of the ideas behind Janissaries is when they march in to conquer you, you hesitate momentarily because it's your children coming to kill you, the children of your nation. He did not. He particularly apparently enjoyed killing them and torturing them.
This history I read on Vlad, I don't know how accurate it was, because it looked like someone just had thrown together like 10 Wikipedia articles and sold it as a book for free. So I don't know what they gained out of the whole thing. But because it was a free book, but it was like...
Didn't he like get kicked out of Transylvania 3 times and came back each time?
Yeah, he basically... But it wasn't like his people didn't like him. His people actually, I think, liked him. But all the dukes in the area kept betraying him. Like, he was like, okay, we need to team up and take down the Ottomans. And then the Hungarian duke would be like, yeah, you go fight them. And then he'd go, we'll be there together. And then he'd go off, and they'd conquer Transylvania while he was gone.
Yeah.
And they're like, now we have Transylvania. Because nobody in Europe was paying attention to the Ottomans.
Well, it's worse than that. France would ally with them, because France saw as advantage that, like Venice and all those states near them. France was constantly fighting those people, and it's like, you know what? If the Ottomans fight them, we don't have to deal with that whole problem. And so the French would actually, were trading partners with them and would help them.
But, the Holy Roman Empire should have been fighting the Ottomans, but they were just fighting each other.
Well, apparently, I don't know if it was Innocent or one of the other war popes.
Yeah.
He almost declared a crusade on France because he's saying they're heretics, they're helping the Ottomans too much.
They did declare a crusade against the Ottomans at one point, I think.
Yeah, but one of the popes basically was tempted to declare a crusade against France to have all the Christian nations attack them. And he did, it was too political, it was too difficult, but it's like, they are helping the Ottomans too much. These people are traitors to Christendom. They are heretics, I believe is the right term. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they
is it heretic or apostate?
What would you be?
Because there's heathen, which is you don't follow their
religion. You'd be an apostate, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because apostasy is when you go against your own faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And heresy is doing the faith incorrectly.
Well, apostasy is when you abandon the faith, but yeah, heresy is when you defile the faith. So they could have been heretics.
No, they would be apostates.
Yeah. If they had abandoned the faith, yeah.
He basically would have accused them of being apostates.
Right. But so Vlad's allies kept betraying him. But Vlad was an awful person as well. When he was finally betrayed for the final time, they actually took him and sent him back to the Ottomans, I believe, and he died in prison, in the Ottoman prison. But he would, while in prison in his last 2 years of life, he would, capture rats and bugs and stuff, and impale them and, skin them alive and pin them to the ground. He was a little messed up.
Well, that's why Dracula's based on him.
And he would,
That's, the whole thing about... Do you know the story
if a woman cheated on her husband...
Yeah.
Right? He would take the woman, impale her, cut off her breasts, and force the husband to eat it. And you think impaling, right? He's got this great big sharp stick, and he's like, right? No. He used doll sticks, and he carefully worked them up the digestive tract so that the person wouldn't die.
Yeah.
And the numbers, I don't know what the real numbers are, but I was reading 40,000 people kind of numbers. He killed so many people.
The impaling wasn't just a punishment.
He might be the most prolific murderer in history.
It wasn't just a punishment. It was literally armies marching into Transylvania, and they go, nope, and they turn around.
Yeah, they're just oh.
Because, sure, let's game theory this out, right?
Yeah.
So, he has 60,000 men. You have 100,000. You should win.
Yeah.
But... there's going to be skirmishes. It's not going to be definitive battle. And if you lose a skirmish, he will capture your men.
Yeah.
And he's not going to hold them as a hostage. He's going to torture them.
Yeah.
You could potentially get captured. He's not going to ransom you back to your kingdom if you're a commander.
Yeah.
He's going to torture you. And no one knows what will happen in war. You could lose.
Yeah.
And if you lose against him, your whole army is at the mercy of the impaler.
The psycho guy, yeah. And
you get to see what he's done.
And even when people are invading, he poisoned all the wells.
Yeah.
So you'd invade Transylvania, you'd drink from the water and you'd die. And you'd try to go to a town for shelter, and he burned all the towns down, so there's nowhere to stay. And whenever you would walk through a mountain pass or through forest, they would attack you from the sides and then disappear. He did guerrilla warfare way back in the day.
There's a reason
he was a great commander.
There's a reason why why Dracula's based off him. he made a deal with the devil for power.
Yeah. He was a brilliant commander, terrifying.
Like, a deal with the devil for power and vengeance is that's the backstory to Dracula.
Have you seen Sabaton's latest music video?
No.
Vlad the Impaler's in it.
No.
It's the year 1940, and so it's kind of like a story. Their music video. It's their new song as well. But the year is 1940, and war has ended. World peace has finally been achieved, and so the band Sabaton has to disband because there's nothing left to sing about. So it's about mourning Sabaton because they're gone now that there's no more war. But these kids sneak into the Sabaton Museum, and they go and they pick up the instruments of Sabaton and start playing them, and all the wax figures of warlords come back to life, but Genghis Khan comes back to life, and he's walking through the museum, and then what's his name? Don't you have this? That dude.
That's just armor.
Oh. But like Oba or whatever his name was.
Nabu
Hayagawa?
Nabu Obunawa?
Like the dude that united Japan, right? Like the...
Obunawa, I think.
Yes. Anyways.
There are several who did.
Yeah, but like the daimyo.
Yeah.
Like the big daimyo.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, he comes to stop Genghis Khan, and then they fight, and Genghis Khan defeats him, and Genghis Khan's walking through the museum, and he sees a map of the world, and his eyes just go like... He sees this map of the world where Mongolia is this little spot, and the Russian Federation's huge, and he's just like he's super angry. And then all the greatest warlords of history band together to try to stop Genghis Khan and fight him. And Vlad's one of the warlords that tries to stop him. And it's a funny video.
Of actual fighters of the great warlords,
who's like the best fighter?
I would put Alexander as one of the top.
Alexander, definitely.
Like, I'd put him up in the top.
I'd probably put him as the top.
Yeah. Julius Caesar, I would put up there, the younger Julius Caesar.
Although, to give Genghis Khan himself credit, we don't really know much about Genghis Khan at all, right? One of the things we do know about him, though, is the very first mission of Age of Empires 2, which is a true story.
Yeah.
But the very first mission of Age of Empires 2, he was ambushed by his brother and a bunch of dudes. And he won that, right? Mm-hmm. So, he's clearly a skilled fighter.
Yeah. And...
El Cid.
El Cid.
I mean, there's a lot, really. Roland.
Alfred the Great.
Charles the Hammer. Like, a lot of these people became great because they... But I think it's going to be...
Charlemagne.
There's a kind of an interesting thing here, though, right? The smaller they are, the more likely it was that they got to their position because they were fighters, right? Like, someone like Augustus might have never touched a sword in his life. Mm-hmm. I don't actually know, but he didn't need to because he was the emperor, right? Whereas someone like Canute, well, maybe not Canute, but like Harold Hardrada, for instance, he would have had to actually demonstrate, I'm the best fighter around, so you're going to follow me, right? So
that's the interesting thing about Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Versus Charles the Hammer.
Yeah.
So Charles the Hammer did a lot of fighting, and Charlemagne inherited his empire. Yeah. But Charlemagne also did a lot of fighting. One of the big things that Charlemagne did is he had to fight a lot of Vikings.
Yeah.
So there's this whole thing of the Vikings would land on the French shoreline and do raiding. And one of the reasons he's called Charlemagne the Great is he actually kicked them out and made it so they didn't want to show up. Because the Vikings would show up on the French shoreline. And before they could even start raiding, a bunch of French knights would show up and kill them.
Yeah.
And they'd quite often be led by Charlemagne. And so it became such a pain, they decided to go raid England instead.
Yeah, what would you...
And then they took over England, and then Alfred the Great kicked them out.
And it gets even weirder with, like, semi-historical mythical figures, right? Like Hector or Achilles or Hercules.
Yeah.
Hercules was probably historical general at one point.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do with that information? Who, yeah. So you kind of have to multiply it. Like, they're one of the greatest generals of all time, multiplied by their military prowess themselves. And Alexander is kind of the best at both, right? Like,
yes. Well, why I say Alexander is his army would have to try to keep up with him.
Yeah. Where I told you that story, right? Where there was they're trying to get across a river, and he's like, "You guys cross the river, I'll hold them up." It's like, you're our king.
This is our purpose. I'll hold them up.
It's like you're doing it backwards.
Yeah. Well, there was actually it's kind of funny. So, in the D&D campaign
Yeah.
that I'm playing, one of the characters is this paladin, and they're fighting a demon. The demon's trying to open a gate to hell.
Yeah.
And I basically had the gate can only be closed from the other side. And so the paladin just stepped through the gate, and he closed the gate to hell.
Yeah.
And then the party basically at one point realizes they have an opportunity to rescue the paladin. They have to go hell to go get him.
Yeah.
So they go through this whole ordeal. They get into hell. They rescue him. And so the guy playing the paladin switches from his cleric back to playing the paladin again.
Yeah.
And they, to get out of hell, they have like a bunch of different ways I told them to get out of hell. And the way they chose to get out of hell was through the mouth of a dragon.
Yeah.
And so the dragon opens its mouth, and it's basically sort of doing it like Malzahn, how dragons open their mouth into a different realm.
Yeah.
And so this was the dragon of normal realm that lives in hell. So when it breathes its breath attack, it like sends out like a little cottage or a goat. It like just vomits out normal reality.
Right.
And so it opens its mouth to breathe at them. And the paladin is standing there, and he's making sure every single person's gone to the mouth, so he's the last guy. And one of the people actually fails, and they like are stuck on the dragon's teeth. And so he picks her up in his arm, and he jumps through the portal with her, and he almost dies doing it, but they barely survive. And so they end up inside this crypt.
Yeah.
And they're going throughout this crypt, and they're fighting all these monsters, and it's incredibly dangerous. And every time they're fighting stuff, he always takes the front line. He's like tanking the monsters. And finally they encounter a living nightmare, and it kills him. And so their whole quest, the whole thing to start this was to save the paladin, and then because of his character, he kept almost dying. But they did manage, because it's D&D, you can cast resurrection. So they managed to get him to a cleric that could resurrect him. But I just thought it was funny that like, their whole mission to rescue the paladin, while they're in hell, he almost died twice protecting everyone. Then when they got out of hell,
he's just such
he
a good
died.
guy.
Well, I made a rule, so leveling up you can't do normally.
Yeah.
Each class has a different requirement to level up. So, sorcerers just get to level up. Warlocks get to level up, but they'll be given a quest, and if they fail the quest, then they can't do it. Fighters and rogues and rangers need training. Druids need to go to a druid circle.
Isn't that how Hackmaster works?
A little, yeah.
Yeah.
Thieves need to go to like a thieves guild. Paladins have a very simple level up. So you have your Paladin's Oath, which each class has, you have to follow. Yeah. And the Paladin's level up just has to add another line to their oath. So they just have to have one more oath. And so the more levels you have in a Paladin, the more you're bound up by your oaths.
Cool. I like that.
And so one of his oaths is he's the last one to leave any combat or any situation. So he can run away.
But everyone has to get out first.
Yeah, but he has to guarantee that everyone gets out first.
Right.
So it makes rescuing him an absolute pain.
He's a bridge burner.
Yes.
First in, last out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. That's good.
No, it's made some interesting things, like a different guy, the other paladin, because of course there's two paladins in there. One of his oaths is he has to reward those who serve him and punish those who betray him. And so the rogue, the guys who do an excellent job of playing rogue, is he's always trying to make as much money as possible. That's his whole goal. And so he's constantly weaseling up to the paladin and agreeing with him and doing the paladin little favors. Because the paladin has to reward those who serve him. And so the rogue is
trying to take all his money.
He is taking all his money. He's taking absolute advantage of the paladin, and it's great.
Oh, yeah, what was it? Justice League. Why is that coming to my head for a moment here? The Challengers of the Unknown. You know about them in DC?
No.
They're lead a guy named Ace. They all wear like purple suits. They're fighters, pilots in World War II, and their planes all crashed.
They're not the Blackhawks from World War One?
No, they're not the Blackhawks. No, Blackhawks were World War II as well.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, Blackhawks were every occupied nation had a single pilot joined together.
Okay.
Every nation occupied by the Germans had a guy come in, so there's 7 of them. And, they formed the Blackhawks. But, the Challengers of the Unknown, kind of similar idea, but their planes crashed due to some strange phenomenon. Yeah. But they all survived the crash. They got through this crazy hardcore event, and they survived. Yeah. And so then they decided, we should have died, but we didn't. So now all our time is bonus. Yeah. We will take any risk. We have no fear. Yeah. And we'll just go out there and do stuff. And there was 4 of them. And they were actually the inspiration for the Fantastic Four. But they're... it's actually like the art. It's Jack Kirby, and his art's amazing. He was like, I think he was the original Superman artist, possibly. But they're Their art looks great, and it's just such a cool premise. Just these four people. They're not like the Fantastic Four where they're superhumans. They're just normal people that are like, we're going to investigate the supernatural because we have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
We already should have died.
Yeah.
Everything's bonus. Let's get out there. And, I just watched Justice League New Frontier, which was made in 2007. It takes place in the 1950s. And the Circle is, like, mind-controlling people around the world and causing cults and stuff. And, like, they're talking about commies, and Batman's trying to investigate them. And it's mostly about Martian Manhunter. But it's cool. I liked it. I didn't know it existed. Yeah. It was good. But I was just thinking of that because I really like the idea of the Challengers of the Unknown. It's a similar idea to the Paladin, where he throws his life in the fire because, like, well, I should have died already. I'm gonna risk my life now because why not?
So how he survived hell is one of the dumbest things. Which is basically I have these tables. I have these 3 tables I do.
Yeah.
Which are their like lists of random mutations. And sometimes they're inconsequential, sometimes they can be quite impactful. Yeah. Like one of the mutations is the other paladin, he would emit yellow stinking steam from his ears constantly, and it gave him a -10 to all stealth rolls.
Yeah.
So he lost his ability to be stealthy. So the paladin got a mutation, which was, we were like, oh, well, he got 2 mutations at the same time, which is one, his legs turned into vines.
Yeah.
And they slowed his movement, and also he needed to drink water with his legs for an hour a day.
Right.
The second mutation he got was he became hydrophobic. Not afraid of water, he was physically hydrophobic.
Right, so he repelled water.
So there's a cleric that can remove like mutations once an adventure, and so he got that one removed. So anyways, he ends up in hell, and the demon who opened the gate is there, and it's trying to kill him. And he has another mutation which makes him really fast. He has ostrich legs, so he can run really fast.
Yeah.
So he's running away from this demon in the battlefield of hell.
Yeah.
And he sees the river Styx. And I'm going along, and I'm thinking, okay, if he touches the river Styx, he's dead, because that's how the river Styx works. So the paladin jumps into the river Styx.
Yeah.
And he says, so because I'm hydrophobic, do I sink to the bottom? And I was like, oh, okay.
And so nothing can get him.
And so he lives in... So this background story is the paladin for like the 3 years he's trapped in hell, because we have like long periods of downtime, is he's been living in a cave that's submerged under the river Styx, killing demons because he's a paladin. And so he kills demons and eats them. That's how he's been surviving. So he's gone slightly insane in hell. But nothing can get to him because he lives in the river Styx.
He's like that...
perfectly hydrophobic, so he can walk in and out of the river freely. So if he ever gets in a situation where like a too powerful demon tries to hunt him down, he can just run away.
He's like the Grey Knight that's in the Warp in Warhammer.
Yeah, he can just step out of it. And it's one of those funny things where it's like, this mutation will just be like a silly bit of flavor. It's like, oh, some mud splashes the party, but he remains perfectly clean. Or some blood gets on people. Except for this paladin, it's like, oh, it's just funny and fun. And that's like, oh, this was actually really useful.
Have you seen the behind the scenes for the Outer Worlds 2 that's coming out?
I played Outer Worlds 1 and it was really disappointing.
Yeah, I've heard most people say number 1 was disappointing.
Yeah.
But number 2, they've added, like, they have drawbacks in number 1, right?
Yeah.
But apparently they really want to emphasize those in number 2. And the drawbacks they have, they showed 3 or 4 of them, were pretty funny. Like, one of them was bad knees. So every time your character stands up or goes into a crouch, you hear this loud popping sound and all enemies look around. So you can't sneak up properly on guys because like, what was that? And then another one was sun gazer. So your character will just look at the sun and then the screen will go all blurry and they start having spots in their vision and stuff. And then another one's kleptomaniac. So let's say you're looking at gear that's just on the ground. Yeah. Your character will just pick it up. And so if you're in like someone's house, you'll just start taking their stuff.
Like bloody Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, basically.
Have you ever been in a situation with a kleptomaniac and you need to actually get some of that loot so you survive? It's like, you know this one will give... So, it's in the Warren. Yeah. If you have antidote, you can put it on the rotting meat.
Oh, you can get the food.
And you can get a huge amount of food.
Yeah.
Stupid Crusader stole it and ate it and got a disease because it wasn't treated. And that's when he went to the sanatorium to have that quirk removed.
Yeah, my healer got that quirk that's free spirit where you can't control them. So they just choose whatever move they want. And you know, with a healer, you need them to target the right person. So I was like, no, you're going to the sanitarium.
Some quirks I can tolerate. Some diseases I can tolerate. Like you have rabies, it makes you deal a little more damage. You're slightly less accurate.
My judge also has a quirk where he thinks he's better than everyone. And sometimes he'll just make his own decisions, right? That's a modded class, the judge. But he also has a quirk that makes him... He'll just rant these like paragraph of text that go on and on and on, and then he'll do his own thing. And I'm like, but he's the judge. I don't actually care as much. And it fits him so well. He's like this pompous, full of himself judge. And he's just like, actually, I, as a judge, blah, 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 blah. It's a great quirk. Yeah, I hate that game. I hate Darkest Dungeon with a passion. It's the worst game ever. Look, you know the genie that was trapped in that Arabian Tale?
Yeah.
And when he was freed, for like, after 5,000 years, he swore he'd kill whoever freed him, right? If anyone ever buys... Xenonauts is on my wish list, right?
Yeah.
And what's the other game that I put on my wish list? Like Xenonauts 2 is on my wish list. There was one more on there. Anyways, anyone ever gets me those games, I will hate them.
So, RimWorld has a new expansion coming out.
Oh yeah, yes.
So I've beaten every single ending of RimWorld.
Oh wow, I've never beaten one.
Yeah, so a long time ago, like I've done it with mods for the most part.
Yeah.
The anomaly one I didn't beat with all that many mods.
Yeah. There's 2 anomaly endings. I mean, you can embrace or not embrace. It's basically the same.
So the anomaly one, as I played the anomaly one, I started adding more mods because I became kind of bored.
Yeah.
So I started adding...
Anomaly was kind of disappointing.
Well,
like, it doesn't fit RimWorld. Like, it's good. It just doesn't fit RimWorld.
So, the first thing I did was the ending where you have to host a duke in your house. And why it took me so long, I remember playing that one, is I decided to make the most expensive carpets possible and make a giant hotel. And I had the mod where people could stay in your hotel. And then I kind of got too ambitious and the hotel was taking forever to build. And people kept raiding the hotel, and so it was like a hotel surrounded by turrets.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got the end, and basically you go to the Imperial Court. You choose one person to go to Imperial Court, the game's over. And that was ages ago. Then I was playing Anomaly, and then I uninstalled it because RimWorld was taking too much time out of my life.
Yeah.
And then I reinstalled Anomaly, and I was playing it, and it just got slower and slower and slower, and so I installed all the optimization mods. I removed the face animation mod.
Oh yeah.
And it actually started running at a semi-decent speed. Like, I didn't realize how slow it was running.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing it, and I think it's the coolest moment I've had in RimWorld, which is, so I start the ending, which is you open up the pyramid.
Yeah.
Or the object. And it says, all right, you have to fight these things and make sure you have a lot of lights everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be fine without lights. Like, I have enough lights as it is, I'll be fine. Like, I live inside a mountain, there's a lot of dark corridors. Like, there's far too few lights, actually, in my place.
Yeah.
So I'll be fine. And then it gives me this warning, darkness is coming, make sure to have lights everywhere. It will be bad if you don't.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll be bad, but we'll be fine. It was so stressful.
No, that ending's ridiculous.
So the darkness comes, and if your pawns are in darkness, they get attacked.
Yeah.
And so I had people running around, like, grabbing people and dragging them out of the darkness, and people, like, my expert at construction, I basically, like, all right, the storage, I had so many supplies, like, I had a certain amount of supplies.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, construction worker needs to get into the storage room because there's no lights there. She doesn't have time to install metal lights because I don't have power on here, so she has to run in and install a torch.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I say install torches here. And then someone else is bumbling forwards, and they build too slow. I know they build too slow, so I have to draft them so they don't go in there. I'm like lighting torches. And then my slaves in my colony, their bedroom is in total darkness. And of course they're getting injured, and so people are rescuing them and dragging to beds in total darkness, and they're getting attacked in the darkness. So it's like this ridiculous amount of management. And I had such an amazing setup of like gun turrets and defenses all over the place. I had good defenses. I had like uranium slug turrets set up. Like, my colony was brilliant. And all my defenses were slowly getting worn down. And then eventually, like, I got my colony rerunning and no one died. And it was amazing. And then I was starting to reclaim land by like putting down light sources. And it's like, floodlight. Why would I ever want to use the floodlight? I started installing those everywhere outside. And then I got the backpacks that let you throw flares.
Yeah.
And I started claiming the map, and because I was so integrated with the Empire, you know how if you have enough honor, you can just call them even when it's off cooldown?
Yeah.
I kept calling strike forces of Janissaries to like fight the armies of darkness. And then I embraced the darkness and won the game.
Yeah.
And then I took the stats that colonist had to embrace the darkness. I got rid of the dehumanize.
Yeah.
And I started a new colony, and I renamed them. I used it prepare carefully, and I gave them the trait, the Eye of Fear,
Yeah.
which is really powerful, actually. And I gave them like a few other bonuses that they had from that one. And I wanted to basically do a Cult Mechanicus run.
Yeah.
So I installed a bunch of cybernetic mods and advanced weaponry. And I played that one, and I built the spaceship, and I defended it. And one of the things I did to defend it is I had the Psyker mod installed.
Yeah.
And so I had that colonist basically just meditate non-stop until they leveled up enough to get the skip portal. So I had a portal to my main base and a portal to the spaceship site. And so everyone was outside of the portal, and she was on the other side. And whenever our army would come, they'd all pour out and fight the army off, and then they'd go back into the portal. And then I loaded all my colonists but her into the spaceship and sent it into the unknown. And then I sent her back to my base, which had high value. And she is like, I don't think she had an organic body part left. Like, even her brain was like glitter tech brain.
And you did the Archon Nexus one? Or?
I did the Archon Nexus. So I sold my base, went to a new site, did that. I completed the Archon one. The Archon ending is kind of the most satisfying.
Yeah.
Because all the other endings, like your people go into space, okay, there's space and memory of them or whatever. The one, they go off to be royalty, you're still left over without your base. But when you do the Archon ending and you only have one colonist, the game just ends. Like, there's no colonies anymore. Like, you sell your colonies, you sell your colonists who you don't want to have. You go through it, you complete it all. It's actually kind of funny, the Archon one, is I didn't quite realize how it worked. And so when I relocated myself onto an island. I thought I was going to have to sell it again. There's no, you go to a new site that they reveal to you, and all your technology's gone. But this is a super colonist. They have like almost 20 all stats. They are insanely powerful because they're all robotic. And so I had her research the, basically beeline the transportation pod to fling you.
Yeah.
I loaded her in it, launched her out of the base, and then finished it. And you just like go into a portal and disappear. But I think, despite Anomaly, I think being my least favorite expansion, it has my favorite ending.
So now, if anyone gets you the RimWorld DLC, are you going to then swear 1,000 years of vengeance against
I think I'm done with RimWorld, because the thing I discovered is if you play the game slowly, the way I enjoy playing it,
Yeah.
it becomes unplayable because it becomes too slow.
Yeah.
If you play it optimally, which is like beeline research, do it really quickly, it becomes incredibly boring
Yeah, it's a different game.
because you just complete the game and there's nothing to do but win the game at that point, and it's really easy to win the game.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like you're surviving, and it's sort of like getting it done, get it done. I just got it done to the endings. And it's like, yeah, you can install all these mods, but I want to like slowly integrate them and enjoy them and go through them. Because like the point of this run was seeing what it's like to just go for it and like get all the overpowered mods and just finish it. And it's like, okay, I'm done with this. And so much of my time gets consumed by RimWorld when I'm playing it. And it's one of those games which it's like Civilization.
Yeah. Well, Civilization I like, though. That's the difference.
I just sit there and I play RimWorld. And it's like, but I'm not actually playing the game. I'm just watching the pawns run around and do things. And
there's nothing. You just sit there, yeah.
And I was just, I think I'm done with this. And so when I saw the DLC, it's like, just when I thought I got it out, I tried to pull it back in. But I don't think I'm going to get that DLC. I think I'm done with RimWorld.
Well, yeah, that happened with...
Like, I will play RimWorld again if the maker of Factorio optimizes it.
Yeah.
And so you can play the game slowly and relaxed and into the late game without it lagging. Like, I have the speed mod, which makes it so you can like play at hyperspeed.
That does nothing.
If I can play at hyperspeed, only in the beginning, but in the mid game and the late game,
then it's a different story. Yeah.
I will play it again. But it's too slow.
I saw a YouTube video that a guy put out, which was...
And when you understand why it's lagging, like, I actually really like the face mod. And it makes it lag a lot. There's like a lot of features I like. And they make the game lag a lot, so I can't play with them. I played with the smallest map possible on my final run, because I just wanted it to run quickly. And it's like, I actually like big maps. And like, I did this thing because, like, you know what would be really fun? Is I want to make a giant... So I was in a desert. That was my final run. And I got a mod which let me convert soil types.
Yeah.
And so I converted the soil types of the desert into fertile soil. It's like, you know, it'd be fun. I'll make a giant devil strand plantation. and I'll train all my people to slowly become better farmers. So first I'll have them like do strawberry farms, and then I'll have them like do cotton farms, and then heel root farms, and eventually they'll get skilled enough to do Devil Strand, have a giant Devil Strand empire. They'll also have a bunch of tailoring benches, and they'll make like Devil Strand clothing, and we'll sell it. It'll be great. And I started planting the farms, and the game started screaming because I had so many tiles with plants that were growing, and I have to keep track of every single plant. So, all right, everyone, mass harvest the plants. So everyone started mass harvesting. I have all these things, and so I built a crematorium, and I ordered them to load Devil Strand in it, and I ordered everyone only harvest plants or only haul.
Yeah.
And I got my game running again because it just slowed down so much. It's like, I was like, this was going to be like a fun idea, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I saw this video guy put out, which was the top 10... No, it was like the 10 games I never want to play again. And I thought, oh, this will be interesting. But it was just 10 games he played that were really bad. Yeah. I thought that is such a boring... a much better video. Maybe I have to make this someday, or you have to make it someday. Is like, here's my list of games I never want to play again, right? Dominions, Darkest Dungeon, Grimrock, Xenonauts, RimWorld. But these are all games that are amazing.
Yeah.
And I will play Grimrock again. I will play Dominions again. I will play Darkest Dungeon again. But part of me hates them with every fiber of my being.
For me, on that list is Europa Universalis.
I can't get enough of that game. I don't know why.
I played it with people who are slightly more competitive and don't play it slowly, and it just turned me off the game.
Yeah. Maybe I just haven't hit that wall yet.
It turned me off. Civilization 5 solo.
I don't know. I can't get enough of Civ either, really.
I like the game multiplayer.
Yeah.
I know I will play the game again. Like, I can't get enough of it either, but it's one of those games... I play it once a year.
Yeah.
And what I do is... There is the Yogscast Civ stream, which they stream a full game of Civ on the second day of the Jingle Jam, and I play while they play.
Right.
I install the whatever the mod's called.
Are you into Warlock Master of the Arcane like I am, or
not really?
Okay, because that game is amazing to get lost in, and then get sick of it for like a year, and then you come back.
Yeah. Darkest Dungeon probably on my.
Darkest Dungeon would be amazing if it wasn't for the Crimson Court. I think without the Crimson Court, it's actually a really good game.
Well, so I have I'm playing on Lightest.
Yeah.
I have
Radiant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm playing on Radiant. I have purposely overpowered people.
Yeah.
I have the mod that makes it so it's a 50-50 of Radiant or if your person becomes good or not when they fail.
The virtue chance.
Virtue. Yeah. I have a mod that buffs virtues.
I don't think the problem is how hard it is for me. It's how grindy it is. And I don't think buffing the characters... I think that would actually make me like the game less, for me at least. Have you played Black Reliquary ever?
No.
It's a fan sequel to the Darkest Dungeon that's actually like Darkest Dungeon instead of whatever.
No, so, why I have the overpowered mods is... Like, it's not super overpowered, it's just more powered. And I have a mod that actually just makes the game less grindy. It makes it quicker to play, and the Radiant mode makes it quicker.
But I actually really like the tenseness of, I'm about to lose this character or not. Like, I really like that, because Darkest Dungeon is actually a very forgiving game, right? It's kind of like Dark Souls. But except Crimson Court ruins all of that. It turns it into a grind. It's horrible.
Well, so that's the thing. So the overpowered character, I literally don't use her unless she's going to the Crimson Court.
But what I would rather do, what I'd rather do is either disable Crimson Court altogether, or there's a mod that makes Crimson Court like a normal district, which I think would also work. Just turn into a normal district. Yeah. And I actually did what you did. I gave up. I uninstalled Sunward Isles. I was like, no, it's even more grindy than the Crimson Court in a lot of ways. It's the same thing over and over again. Everything is annoying. What did it to me? Those clay men with their long, lanky arms that throw filth at you, and when you almost kill them, they dig into the ground. And they make the smuggest sound ever, and then they heal. And I was just, I hate you. I will delete your data. God, I hate you with every fiber of my being. Get out of here. You're like, I hate them.
Yeah, but definitely RimWorld. I don't know. Like, it'd be hard for me to play again.
Have you ever played Xenonauts?
No.
Okay. What about Dominions? You still sticking strong with that?
I played Dominions when I play it.
Yeah.
Dominions I'm actually okay with. Because... Well, my problem with Dominions is the late game can become really, really sluggish.
Yeah.
Really frustrating.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my problems with Minions. The game that I swear off, though, is Conquest of Elysium. Because, I can play that game.
Actually, since Dominions 5 came out, Dominions has gotten a lot better. Because they stopped using Adrian's on Ziegler's music. I love Ziegler's music. But if I have to listen to Wolfblood ever again in my life, I am going to snap.
Conquest of Elysium
I'm going to hijack a plane to Switzerland, and I am going to take it down at the source.
Conquest of Elysium has other songs in it. That one game that I could almost call that, but isn't, is Age of Wonders 3. I can say almost is I'll just play it and I'll like, I feel like I enjoyed that. But one that I can say definitively is 4.
I haven't played it, so I don't know. But
4 is one of those games where you can get sucked into it, but then I go, 3 is just better. These are different games. 3 is what I actually like of Age of...
I think Heroes of Might and Magic 5 for me is a game where I'm like, this is really good, and then like, nah, I'm done.
So I've been playing... I played 4 a little bit. I did the first campaign of 4.
Yeah.
And I've been playing the campaign of 5.
Yeah.
So, 5's campaign reminds me a huge amount of King's Bounty.
Oh.
And
that's a game I never want to play again.
King's Bounty came out after 5.
Yeah, well, the remake of King's Bounty, Or the remake, but not the new remake.
Yeah.
But the remake from the 80s game,
Yeah. King's Bounty I'll never play again. I beat King's Bounty, I'm done with it. I'm not going to play any other King's Bounty game. Like, I tried to play Armored Princess, I just can't.
I have this, like, PTSD when I think about King's Bounty, where I simultaneously have this sense of revulsion, and I try to look away from the image in my brain, and at the same time I'm like, play it.
But what I can say is Heroes 4 is a bad game. Like, I tried playing it, I tried giving it all a shake, I tried to understand mechanics.
Yeah.
Heroes 4 is a bad game. Heroes 5?
Heroes 5 has a lot going for it.
Well, so there is one feature I really like about Heroes 4, which is all those little dwellings.
Yeah.
You can hire caravans into them and like recruit and put people in them. Heroes 4 has like some interesting features I really like, but it's not a complete game. Like, Heroes 4 is not a complete game.
Yeah.
And your heroes dying in combat is awful.
Yeah.
Especially when you lose the campaign if they die. Because a Gorgon gazed at one of my heroes and killed them instantly. And it's like, my stats, no matter how good they are, they'll just die.
Right.
And so Heroes 5 reached a happy medium of the hero attack. One thing I don't like is you have to wait for your hero's turn to cast spells. But the thing about Heroes 5 is they actually introduced the auto combat.
You're right. That's why I don't like Heroes 5. Because you have to wait till your hero's turn to cast spells. It totally changes the strategy of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, so Heroes 5, though, introduced the auto combat.
Yeah.
And it's a built-in feature where you can see the combat, and if you don't like it, then you can redo it. Heroes 5 has cool models. The campaign's kind of a fun story. It has some fun ideas. Like, they fix a lot of problems from other games, actually.
Yeah.
Like the peasants.
Yeah, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic about Olden Era, which should be coming out soon.
So I signed up for the beta.
Oh, yeah.
But so Heroes 5 has this hilarious thing, which is if you recruit peasants, you never want to upgrade them, and you want to leave them.
Because they give you gold.
You want to leave them in your castle because they pay off in 15 turns.
Wow, that's not bad.
And so it's this.
Actually, no, that's terrible. Well, sort of, because
No, sorry, that's Heroes 3 peasants pay off in 15
no,
turns.
Heroes 3 don't give you money.
No, Heroes 4, sorry.
Okay.
Pay off. I'll have to redo the math for Heroes.
No, them paying off is fine, actually. I was just thinking, like, if they pay off in 15 turns, but they refresh every 7 turns to buy new ones, you're never going to make money off of them. But the thing is, your number will eventually grow so big that it'll make the money back. Yeah.
But they fixed a little problem with the peasant.
Yeah.
Which is this is a terrible unit you want to leave in your home.
Yeah.
This is a terrible unit you want to leave in your home. There's a reason for it.
That would actually be good in number 2.
It's fun.
Yeah.
There's several features.
But if your city gets attacked, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, well, there's even sometimes you need to have them in your army. And it's the situation. It is really funny. There's auto combat, and it said 80 of your peasants will get killed in this auto combat. It's like, not on my watch. And so I had a griffin get killed in the combat. I lost
that's
3
free
griffins.
money right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And
Oh, you're playing with the expansion as well.
No,
right?
I'm playing with the one expansion. So you can't play the campaign with the Vikings.
Oh.
So with the Barbarian expansion.
Is that the one that adds all the
The second upgrade.
Right.
So I'm just playing with the Hammer expansion, which didn't add any new races. It just improved the game.
Right.
And then I'll do the tribes campaigns later.
Having played the Heroes 3 campaigns, all of them now, I think they're worse than like random maps.
So
Except for the Shadow of Death. Shadow of Death is good. That's the one you're playing. So Shadow of Death in number 3 is good.
Scenarios are better than...
Yeah, scenarios. So it depends on the scenario, but there's some good scenarios.
I think one of the problems with Heroes 5 is the AI is really stupid. Like, really stupid. Like, I think it's one of the worst of all the games. It actually breaks. It doesn't pick up resources it could to get advantages. It has so many problems. It flagrantly cheats.
Yeah, that's no fun.
But it doesn't matter that flagrantly cheats because you can just beat it. Like, you know...
Cheats as bad as Empire's Earth.
Yeah, you know in Shadow of... the Heroes 3 campaign.
Yeah, Shadow of Death.
Yeah, Shadow of Death. Where you're like, oh, I'll just sit back and I'll build up my army and win.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Basically, in every camp... Like, the first campaign, the Haven campaign, is a tutorial.
Yeah.
And you can just sit back and most of them win.
Yeah.
The second campaign, which is the Inferno campaign, my favorite campaign so far, is you've killed Nikolai.
Yeah.
Your Exariel, the evil demon who's not actually a demon. And the guard dog of the Haven, of the Griffin Empire, is sent to kill you. And you don't have a powerful enough army, and your allies in the Inferno realize that you want to overthrow them, and so they're also trying to kill you. So the campaign starts, and you're on this map, and it says, get to this point.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, gotta get to that point. And so you're trundling along, and then the watchdog shows up, and his army is unstoppable.
Yeah.
But he's slightly faster than you.
Oh.
However, there is one item which is the boots of speed you can find right at the start of the game. So you have to grab those. And you have to have an army strong enough to beat obstacles in your way. And you have to grab resources to fund yourself, and you want to level yourself up to make later campaigns easier. But you also have to stay ahead of him. And you can like go through one-way portals and like do a bunch of little tricky things. So you're like doing this...
Kind of King's Bounty, yeah.
Running around the table, like when you're a kid. You're basically doing that with him to try to escape. And that's like the funnest mission so far because you don't actually have a castle you can build up in.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's not like the entire 30-hour game like King's Bounty.
Yeah.
I have to stop, I think. I'm flagging. But, yeah, it worked for you to leave it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, Heroes 5 has been fun so far.
That's good.
I think Heroes 3 is a better game in every aspect, but Heroes 5 isn't a bad game if you're playing it single player to do the campaign.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. And the music's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Probably some of the best. They're all amazing.
It draws from other songs from the other games.
Yeah.
And there's one song I heard which it was referencing another song which I don't think is your list.
Oh.
But I know about, but I couldn't quite place it.
Which song do you remember?
No, I don't remember either of the songs, but I know number 5 has a song which references another song, which should be okay to find. That's not referenced on your list.
Oh, that'd be good.
Because I don't think you've covered many of the Hero 5
Do you remember
songs.
like if it was a town or a terrain or?
It's during the Haven campaign I heard it, but I think it's a terrain.
Okay. Oh, I'll have to look into it.